day 3 of the CRX build. I'm Ryan Bossard from Rywire, and I wanted to take today to introduce some parts. But first, maybe let's go over what we've talked about and done so far. So on the CRX, day 1 was basically taking everything apart out of the engine, behind the dash, stripping the car pretty much down to as little as possible in the engine bay. Day 2 was test fitting the engine, hanging it, dropping in our house support mounts, installing the tucked radiator or getting that all mocked up, and then also kind of a little bit of a test fit on the ITB kit. It's actually not a full kit, so we're going to kind of just test to see as far as like hood clearance and how we can kind of create these ITBs to hopefully fit under the hood of the Japanese Ep8 hood. So let me just take a second and introduce to you some parts that we actually got for the build. Hybrid Racing was really generous with us and gave us a lot of the really cool parts for this build. So what I wanted to introduce was each one of the parts. So we have a heater hose delete kit. Gonna do kind of like a little unboxing and kind of describe what some of this stuff is. So just your standard plugs for the heater lines. So this car is not gonna have any HVAC, heating, air conditioning system in the car. So this is a real easy way to just plug up the lower hose and then plug up behind the head. So then we could just effectively and easily eliminate the heater components. So that was a nice little easy kit. Next one we have is a fuel pressure gauge. Okay, so we also have a regulator. So here's basically just a simple little gauge. We're also probably gonna have a pressure sensor, but this will be great just to be able to visually see exactly where we are. And then that would go perfectly along with this real nice fuel pressure regulator. So let me open this up. This is a really nice piece actually. So this guy is going to be the fuel regulator. It's a really nice piece. We're gonna try to find a really nice place to mount this. Not exactly sure yet. I'm still strategizing in my head kind of where it's gonna locate. But they give you fittings with it. Of course, the regulator itself. And some more hardware that kind of fell out of the package there. We'll put this aside. Let's see what else we got. Some heater lines. Okay, so this is going to be the cooler lines. On the back of the engine, our engine has a built-in oil cooler just around the oil filter. So these are just some replacement lines. They're really nice silicone. It's gonna match, and it's gonna be a lot higher quality than the OEM stuff. I never really liked the look of the OEM hoses. I'd always thought that there would be a better solution one day, and Hybrid Racing came up with a nice little solution. So we're gonna use those lines. We also have an oil cap. So this is their graphite gray colored oil cap. It's really cool actually. This one, check it out. It's really low profile because of hood clearance problems possible with the EF and the CRX and Civics. It's going to keep it really low profile, and you can pop it up and then easily unthread it. So I really like these. They're really nice little caps, simple, and a lot of these parts are just like convenient stuff, but then there's also some like really important things. So here's one more little convenience dipstick. So check this guy out. Same color theme and same little like latching technology. So this dipstick's really cool. I remember with my CRX back in the day when I first did my first K-swap, I ended up just chopping the factory dipstick off so it was like a little nub, because it literally was the difference between the dipstick hitting the hood and not. So this is really cool because it's like a flush mount. You can pop it up and pull it out easy. So this will be really nice. And then here's a non-hybrid part, but this is a CRX alternator relocation kit and belt kit. So I actually remember using these way back in the day on a lot of the K cars that we would work on, and they work really well. But I did order this from Hybrid Racing as well. So CRX will open that box a little later, and we'll do kind of like an install on that one a little later. Now to the kind of nitty-gritty part, stuff that you really need on this build. These are shifter cables from Hybrid Racing. So you can see they're just like, pretty basic, but really nicely constructed. They'll be perfect candidate for their shifter. So I'll get to that in a second. Here's the cables, real nice part. And then I've already kind of dug into this box because I was anxious to see it. So this guy is the short shifter kit. And this is gonna be an undermounted kit. So basically, it's really nice, everything's all CNC'd, and this is just a cover, so it's really nice and gonna stay clean for us under there. But what you essentially will do, and we'll get to an install a little later, is you remove the bottom piece, and then you just install it on the car, bolt everything in. I think you gotta drill a couple little holes and add hardware. I gotta look at the instructions again. And then you can remove this piece, you can put the cables in, put this piece back on. So this is gonna be a really big help. Got a little shifter adapter so you can kind of go. I'm kind of short, so it might help to bring it towards me a little bit more, but it's on a full rotation, so it's really nice. So that's pretty much it for that. I'm gonna show you guys a couple other little things that I got. So Frank from Downstar came through and sent us some hardware. Let me show you guys what we got. This one is the K-Series mount hardware kit. So I think I mentioned before, we have the Hassport kit, and I use all the Hassport hardware for now. This is kind of the upgrade hardware, if you will. So basically this is gonna be in the same kind of finish as all of our hybrid racing components. It's gonna be like a nice gunmetal, like nickel kind of finish. It should look really cool. We also have, what is this one? The transmission kit. So because we have a kind of a factory K20R trans, this is gonna be perfect. It's gonna cover all the hardware and everything for that. Engine dress-up hardware, so this oil pan hardware. So oil pan, that's pretty cool. The exhaust manifold, K exhaust manifold stuff. So this will be nice. Valve cover dress-up stuff. And we have, this guy is the water pump. So there again, K20 water pump, so nothing special. This one will go perfect with that. And for when we're all finished, we could enjoy a beer or two. Also, what I wanted to go over real quick was AIM. So AIM actually sent over their MXS 1.2 Strata. It comes with a wiring harness for the dash, so this will plug straight into the back of the display, and then I'll be able to do my CAN bus wiring on here. So I'll have my ground, my power, and my two CAN bus wires. So that'll be really easy to get this from the K Pro to the AIM. Okay, so with this little harness and connector kit for expansion stuff if we wanted to add more sensors, and then our programming cable. So all that. We're really big AIM dealers too, so it's nice that they came through for us, got us a dash, it's a car, really, really awesome. We're going to show you guys how to kind of program it and how to set it up with the K Pro, and then this is the display itself. So this maybe look a little bit different because this has a little metal housing on it. So Belade Sports, if you've heard of them before, they're a big S2000 shop, and they actually are right next door. So Belade has this S2000 specific bracket, and I figured there wasn't anything that's specific to the EF cluster hoods. And I kind of remember from when I was younger and we used to put S2000 clusters in CRXs, that the 90 to 91 housing with the S2000 gauge fit pretty well. So I thought, you know what, I could probably just modify this bracket a little bit to mount in. And then I was thinking maybe we could do some kind of like a trim detail to fill in any blanks. So I was thinking maybe like, you know, how people do like a carbon sheet. Maybe we'll do carbon, or if it doesn't match the, you know, what we're kind of trying to do, maybe just do like a black sheet that can kind of go over and use this as a base. And it should fill in that gap pretty nice, because I haven't seen anything that's specific to like an EF or a 90 to 91 Civic or CRX cluster hood for one of these digital displays. So we're going to use the AIM dash with Belade Sports housing. And that's it. Alright, so project for right now is going to be installing the Hybrid Racing shifter. So let me show you guys what I have laid out. Here's what Hybrid Racing sent for the shifter. We have a base plate, we have the pad for the top, the shifter itself, some hardware, and then the shifter on the top, sticker. So we're going to take these components and then we are going to be installing them underneath here. You guys can see this is completely virgin and untouched under here. So these two holes are going to get bolted. We're going to get the actual like base of the shifter, and then we're going to drill two holes
around here for the front two, and then the shifter's just gonna come up straight through the center hole right here, and our cables and everything will be at the bottom. Alright, so I got the shifter all installed here from the bottom with the bottom plate off of it. So if you guys could see, I basically took these two bolts, bolted them into the old shifter location, and I used that to center to drill two more bolts right here, and then threaded those from the top down through the threaded base plate. So now it's all intact and in. So now I just gotta put my cables on right here and then put the bottom plate on. It's all set. Okay, so here's how the cables look all installed. Clips are all in place. It's looking real good. Here's the transmission view. And here's a shot of the shifter.